Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin. And as always, our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells, has joined us today.
Everybody.
It has been an eventful beginning to the show. We were discussing...
Is it hot in here? No,
It is.
You just got dispuckered.
That's right.
Warms up afterwards.
Man.
We were discussing... how excited we are about our Savannah Bananas show that's coming up here real soon.
Absolutely.
So we are planning on getting a couple of good interviews out of that and a pretty epic show as well. I think they come into town May 10th.
I apologize. I'm going to completely interrupt you. I just opened up my stopwatch to redo something else. My stopwatch has been running for 5,855 hours, 14 minutes, and 3 seconds.
Wow.
I have no idea when this started. I'd like to know the math on that.
So did you stop it?
I just did.
Don't stop it.
No,
just
start.
let it go.
Let it roll. All right. Well,
Yeah, how long do you think it'll run for?
we're going to find out. It'll at least run for 5,855 hours.
How many days is that?
I'm doing the...
Quick math.
That is approximately 243 days. So
Oh my God.
three quarters of the year.
9 months ago, you started your
Well, there you go. Great discovery. Sorry, Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas.
As the kids will say, I'm locked in. Here we go.
Locked in.
I hate that term.
So I'm pretty stoked about this episode we're gonna do. Did you see that Jesse Cole was interviewed on 60 Minutes?
I did not.
I did.
He was interviewed on 60 Minutes. And did you also know that 8 of their games are going to be aired on ESPN?
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's an impressive.
Yeah. Along with all the stadiums
Right,
and all the
right.
things that they've been doing, like they just keep
I saw
taking it to the next level.
An excerpt of something. It may be in that 60 Minutes interview where the guy that's on stilts, he got a phone call from his mom, and he was like, he was driving doing it. She's like, hey, I got you a job interview, and he's like, Mom, what? She goes, you need to show up here wherever, blah, blah, blah. What was with the Bananas? And the reason they gave him the interview is because she put down he could walk on stilts. And apparently he wasn't going to get the job, even though he could do that. And then there was something else. He said, well, I can do this. I forget what the item was. And
He could hit a baseball on stilts.
No, I remember he could hit a baseball on stilts. And the whoever guy was like, I don't know if that's what we're looking for. And the owner, the founder, he was like, hang on, you guys see the big picture. We're doing stuff you can't do. And the next cut is him on some 8-foot stilts out there. And I was like, this is hysterical. Like, just their whole stage presence is everything I've seen. I don't know if I'll do anything but laugh and cheer the whole time we're there. But
one of the things that really impresses me, and we're working on being able to interview Jesse. I feel pretty confident we will. So Jesse, if you're watching this, give us 5 minutes. But we got some good questions. But I want to know, how do you take an organization that everybody's got to have told him he's crazy?
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? Who wants to watch crazy baseball?
Everybody.
And then everybody wants to watch it.
Everybody wants to watch it.
But he's got to go where we're playing in minor league stadiums. And then who had the dream or the idea, the thought, we can pack out Nissan Stadium.
Right.
We can pack out, would they play at Denver?
I don't know. I thought everything I knew they did around the Southeast.
And then they played at Clemson, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
They took over Clemson Stadium.
That's wild.
And then on top of all of that, you got to figure they're turning these football stadiums in the baseball fields.
Right.
So could you imagine calling Nissan Stadium and saying, hey,
Take up a third of your turf.
we want to bring in a dozer and turn it into a baseball field?
I'd be willing to bet that process is easy. I'm using easier in quotation marks here. Easier than we think. Essentially, because remember when they did when the Vols played at Bristol, they have one of those sped up videos where you can watch the whole thing in like a minute and a half. The amount of dump trucks bringing in dirt, but they basically essentially put in a massive tear-proof tarp. And so when they're done, they pull the tarp out, so it doesn't affect the grass, doesn't affect the the asphalt or whatever. So I'm sure these other stadiums, they're probably doing something like that.
Nissan's AstroTurf, isn't it?
I don't think it's technically AstroTurf anymore, but yeah, it's an artificial turf.
Artificial turf, yeah.
And so I think you put down some sort of
Like tear-proof tarp on top
layer,
of that?
you can bring in what you want on it. Because don't they do the motorcycle cross? What's the?
They do that at Bridgestone?
They did it at Bridgestone, but I thought they did one at Nissan Stadium.
Or Nissan, sorry.
Yeah.
They do the monster trucks at Bridgestone.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well, same difference though. I mean, you can
I
go
guess
from
so.
having a dirt course to ice in 24 hours. I mean, that's impressive to a turnaround for those events.
Can you imagine the logistics on that?
I bet the dudes that do that know they don't even miss a beat. They know exactly what they're doing. Walk in, walk out, boom, gone. It's not even a blink
Quick,
for them.
easy, nothing.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you got to think the Preds, they're balancing between hockey games, untypical events, atypical events like monster truck rallies, whatever. The circus comes in there every year or two, whatever.
Yeah.
A concert turnaround. Like, I mean, the amount of just hands on deck to be able to handle that, it's impressive.
Yeah.
So when you've got an event arena like that and what they're able
I remember
to...
I went to the Mercedes Dome in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. The day they were doing the day of a Beyonce concert.
Yeah.
And the company I was working for at the time had a restaurant inside the Mercedes Dome. And so I got to like go down on the field and see it. And you're right. Like, I mean, it's crazy. The amount of stuff that they got going on just in different directions, and it looks like a whole bunch of ants.
Right. That's exactly, especially those sped up videos.
Knocking it out. Oh, yeah.
They don't miss.
It's crazy.
It is wild. I always wonder about the cabling. Like, I mean, we're sitting in a studio, and I can look at just the cabling that's in here. And then you go and put on a full-on event with some sort of animation or, illumination just from lighting, digital LED stuff to smoke to sound to instruments, all the above. It's impressive the amount of just cables and how.
Well, I got some goals for our shoot on that day.
Yeah,
I want to be on the field.
All right.
Like I think we need at least a quick short video on the field.
You willing to streak for that? You can get on the field then. I'm not, by the way. But
let's table that conversation for day of.
see how you're feeling that morning.
How we're feeling. No streaking. No, it's not going to happen.
Good.
No. We don't need a beach walrus
trying
to run through the field.
If somebody were to do that, now we're about we called it back in April.
Yeah. What kind of odds do you think Vegas got on that? But I want to get us on the field. Look, we got media passes. We should be able to be on the field at some point in time, whether it's pregame or what. But and then I would love to get us in the rafters.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
The very very top row. Mm-hmm. The last time I was on the very top row of the Titans Stadium was in December of. Might have been 03, 4. It was right after the Titans got here.
Okay. So the stadium's brand new at that point.
Stadium was still pretty new.
Okay,
yeah. I don't remember what year it was, but the Titans hadn't been here very long.
Right.
We went and got some cheap seats, and it was snowing.
Oh, that's a good time.
Problem is we weren't planning on going to a Titans game.
In the snow?
In the snow.
Oh, that's tough.
So it was a tough experience. But the view from right there is incredible, right?
I went to This would have been probably mid 2000s, so 2003 to 2006, 7, somewhere in there. Maybe even earlier. It may have been earlier, like you were talking. Went to a Monday night game there. We're playing the Chiefs. Buddy of mine randomly called up. Somehow he had gotten 4 or 5 tickets. And so 4 of us buddies go, however many of us there were. He knew the parking spot, so we didn't have to hike forever. He had done his homework, right?
Done the research.
We knew it was cold. We go in there. We're probably about 20, 25 rows up. Best seats at that point I'd ever been at anything, right? And we are looking out, and all of a sudden, like, it's Monday night. Like, it's already a fantastic atmosphere, right? Because it's a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
And you look up, and up in the lights, you could see it starting. And there's just a little bit of snow coming down. And we're all like, this is not really happening. Like, we are on Monday Night Football. Now, we were prepared, though. Like, we knew it was going to be cold already. So we're decked out. And that snow started coming in. And it wasn't the kind where it covered the field or anything, but it made that place just rowdy.
Oh,
and it's one of those sporting memories that, for me, I will know that one. I know the first time I took my son to a Titans game, like, there's certain checklists, right? But that falls up there. Monday night, it's snowing. I don't even know who won the game. I just know we were playing the Chiefs, and it was phenomenal. And it's a good time because that's one of those where hopefully at some point when I'm an old man, I'm sharing that story. And that triggers, the XYZ of this or that or whatever. And because we have that with my buddies. Yeah. And I can call them up and go, hey, y'all remember? Now, I guarantee you at some point, none of them are going to. I think that's the element. I know this is probably getting way off where he's going with this. But I think that's an element of what sports does for us when we look at sports appropriately. Yeah. When we're not wrapped up in the finances, we're not wrapped up in the look at the contracts and who should or should not have retired somebody's jersey, or whatever. Like, when you're just enjoying sport, those are the kinds of memories that you get. You set that one back in there.
Look, a lot of I think what the Savannah Bananas do, is just that
entertainment value.
It's the entertainment of a sport.
Right.
It's amazing. I love it. I'm stoked. Stay tuned. It's going to be really, really cool. We're gonna have a pretty epic show from Nissan on
should be a good time.
Yeah, say the least.
To say the least.
Say the least. You brought up something interesting a minute ago about financials and sports.
Financials and sports.
And here recently there's been some talk about some financials and sports.
I wish we had Jeff Murphy on with the NIL stuff, because I feel like that was something we didn't jump in we didn't discover that till toward the end of the show with him. Yeah. To get a little bit of that insight.
I'd love to have him on the show and have that conversation today.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to hear what his 2 cents in there, because and for my take, I'm coming at this I'm a UT fan, so.
Let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about all of it. You hit the nail on the head. Give us just a second, guys. We'll be right back. Listen to some of our sponsors, and we'll get back to you. What's going on, guys? I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the owner of Single Tree Barbecue, located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 2805 Old Fort Parkway. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 until 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 11 to 3. If you want some smoked wings all the way to some Texas-style smoked brisket, y'all come see us. We have some amazing lunch specials during the week and outstanding barbecue right here in the Middle Tennessee area. We can't wait to see you guys. All right, welcome back, guys. We were talking about financials and sports, and Derry just brought up a big point with the NIL. And we were talking about how Jeff over at Domenico's here in Murfreesboro was on the show, and he's involved in the NIL stuff at MTSU. And now we have some recent events of our beloved University of Tennessee Volunteers just lost their quarterback, Nico Imaleaving, and his new last name is Imaleaving. So
first of all, the internet will, as long as we have the internet, it's going to win. As soon as that stuff started popping up, I laughed so
yeah.
hard. It was fantastic.
Look, I don't know who, I feel bad for him on one foot. And then the other side of me says, goodbye. Good luck.
I feel bad for him on one hand, but you made your own bed.
Well, but here's why I feel bad for him. I'm not sure it was him doing the negotiations.
Correct. And I'm in the same boat. I don't know. Bad advice.
There's rumors that family was doing his negotiation for him. So,
And I'm going to step in here and say it's a 19-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. So somebody probably is,
I had very little. I mean, mom, dad, cousin, friends, et cetera, are giving him feedback.
And so there's part of that you say you're glad family's still invested in you, that they didn't just hang you out there dry. So I get that element, and you're proud of them because they probably on the front end were responsible for him to come into Tennessee, because that's a long way from home. So I'll give the respects to the family and them being able to rally around him and do that. Now,
look, I'll tell you this:
from a business standpoint,
if family is the reason that he quote unquote held out for more money, how bad do they feel right now?
Man, I don't know. In case somebody's living under a rock and just now hearing about this. He was holding out for UT to get approximately $2 million more. He wanted to go from 2 to 4.
Yep.
UT basically said, good luck, see you bye, and cut ties with him. And now the colleges that are interested.
I don't know if they just cut him. Reading between the lines, they were having conversations with him.
Conversations have been going. The way I read it,
and then he didn't come to practice
on Friday, and
that was it.
And then he apparently didn't respond to any attempts to be reached out to.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, okay." and again, we're not inside but from everything you start reading, you can start putting a pretty good story together. But now the colleges that are talking about it, a couple of them have already said, "No, we're out," and so your caliber of team is starting to deteriorate a little bit, and for less money.
It would shock every bone in my body.
Yeah.
If he got a deal where he was making over $1 million.
If he can hit $1 million, I think he'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Or thankful.
Thankful is probably a good word.
Now, let's go at this from a slightly different angle and not just zero in on them. How much of this needed to occur to kind of help level out some of this NIL stuff?
Well, the problem is I'm not sure it's going to change anything.
I hope so.
I hope it does. I agree with you 1,000%. It's. I was telling somebody the other day, NIL, in from my understanding, and Herb Street was talking about it earlier today or yesterday, and NIL was not meant for you to be paid. NIL was meant for you to be compensated for your name, your image, and your likeness. Not a negotiating tool for boosters to go get Derry Wells because he's a great offensive tackle.
Right.
And have a bidding war.
I love that somebody brought that up.
Yeah.
Because remember, the original argument about this was these big companies, let's say Madden or EA Sports, whoever it was, is making money off a kid who can't earn money because, he's the popular athlete for the year or whatever. And from that respect, I give you that. And so when you take it, like you said, name, image, and likeness, if you can get a kid to peddle your small-time product or your big-time product, whatever, have at it. I got no problem with that. The problem is it quickly devolved into this grossness that it is, where how much playing time you want to give me and how much am I going to get paid? Yeah. And those, like Saban's had numerous comments and quotes. That's the only thing that's getting said. And I think the other issue that's going to lead to long term is you're going to start seeing coaches walk away. And I'll say start seeing, I'm talking about more than one. You've already had a few.
Yeah.
Saban says that's part of the reason he stepped aside when he did. And so I think some of these coaches,
because it doesn't it stops being about. I think Heupel's statement was incredible.
it was phenomenal.
Right.
It was spot on. I don't know who wrote that for him or if it was off the cuff for him.
I think it was off the cuff.
They nailed it. You talking about the one about being bigger than the program?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Because it was how he ended it. No one's bigger than the program, including me.
Yes.
Like he knew. He lumped himself in there. Like I'm not bigger than UT Vol football. And because you've got some of these people who have been these legacy ticket holders that they're having to think about, can we keep these tickets? I mean, my great-great-grandfather had the ticket and whatever else. Can we afford to keep going because they're trying to jack it up so high for NIL stuff?
Yeah.
But you get an athlete in there who's like, I want to get paid. And I'm like, it's just like there's a balance in there.
It's there's the problem is not NIL. And pick me, I'll say it, I'll take all the wrath. The problem is not NIL. The problem is it's unregulated.
Right.
If there was regulation, there's no reason why an 18 to 24-year-old kid, man, should ever, while he's attending college, getting a higher education to better himself and become an outstanding citizen in our society, to be given a $200,000, $300,000 car because they can run faster than anybody else.
That was the good old days when that was all it was somebody slipped in
No,
a
I'm
car.
just saying. I'm just saying, like, you know, who Shador Sanders
Yeah.
drives a Bentley.
Right. And his watch is like some high falutin whatever.
His daddy don't drive a Bentley.
Right.
And his daddy played professional ball.
Right.
And is the head coach. How does that make sense?
I get that it's part of the flash of the day. It's the reason that certain shoe brands carry more weight than other.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Literally right this minute. Just came in. Right now. Nico Imaleaving is going to UCLA.
Officially.
It's official, like a referee with a whistle.
How much?
Didn't get that far into the message.
Oh, hang on.
I guess I could do that.
We
I'm
can-
sitting right
Oh,
here.
hang on. I got the
We can
Twitter,
Google it.
The Twitter page. Well, I figured. Well, apparently it hasn't broke to Twitter yet, which kind of surprises me. Well, heck, I figured that would be the case.
It makes sense.
I mean, it's West Coast. It's back close to home.
Yeah.
Look
sense.
at that. So, yeah, here it is. 8 minutes ago, it was reported that he'll go to UCLA. They haven't said anything about,
Contract.
yeah.
I bet it's under $1 million. I think
according
UCLA
to Colin
already
Coward,
offered him $1 million.
According to Colin Coward, he's going to UCLA. It was never about the money. He didn't care for the offense at UT.
Come on, man.
That's according to the tweet by Colin Coward.
He didn't care for the offense.
It
was a run and gun offense.
Again, going back to the internet wins, somebody made a collage of things. And it was like, let's look at these major plays that should have immediately earned Imaleaving $4 million, Overthrowing wide open dudes, runs out of bounds.
Last
on
play of the
down.
Arkansas?
Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like,
that's a $4 million play. Yeah.
Look, what that is, that's an 18-year-old playing like an 18-year-old.
Damn, darn
you know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is. And those things are starting to, I don't know if that's your best angle, though, to blame it on the offense. So, anyway. There you go.
That's a wild thing to say.
That's good timing, though. Breaking news going to UCLA.
Just breaking news here on the pod.
Man.
We're putting it out there. It'll post in about a week, so when everybody can hear it.
We were early.
We are early and late all at the same time.
I love it. Absolutely.
I just don't. I don't understand.
You know why you don't understand though, and this is
Because I hadn't been paid millions of dollars.
Well, no, and here's the truth of it. I don't think automatically somebody handing you $1 million messes you up, because the truth is, if you can manage $100, $1,000, you can manage $1 million. And I think there comes a structure of the day and age that we live in is so wildly different from, you think 30, 40 years ago when we were young men and we heard about stories of our grandfathers been at the same company for X years and he retired here and he did this, or, the longevity part of it. Nowadays, it has become so quick about the nearly instant gratification. And this is where I'm going to kind of take a turn from sport. Like I was detailing the wife's car this weekend. I get a great joy from washing a car, and I don't feel like I can ever wash it enough. And not in, when I say wash it enough, not in frequency. And I never get to a point where I'm satisfied with what I got done. But I look down at my clock. Hey, I've been doing this an hour and a half. I got to step away.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
It's an instant gratification of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get, something off my screen time, whatever. And so I've really enjoyed that. And because somebody brought it up to me, that's why old men like mowing their yards. You turn around like, look at what I did.
Look what I did, yeah.
When my neighbors drive by, like, you wash my car next? Like, because you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so I think this day and age, anybody below the age of 25 who literally has grown up with the nearly instant, they haven't had time to be bored. They haven't had time to fully curate thought and put the deep thought into it, right? Yeah. I think our generation...
Well, look, not to discuss what we were talking about prior to the show, but, I had a situation earlier this week where I got a message and then responded to that message, but then put my phone down.
Right.
And got 5 or 6 other messages before I responded, and it had only been an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's just not... People have to, we're so, it's almost like we retrained our brains to we have to have everything right now.
I've tried to tell myself, and I've tried to instill this into my kids. This device, which is literally 100 devices now, but this device is for my convenience, not everybody else's. And what I mean by that is, you may reach out to me, you may call me, you may text me, you may message me on some sort of whatever. I'll get to you when I can.
Yeah.
It's for my convenience. But so oftentimes we have this where we've attached it to success or business operations, or like my daughter the other day, bless her heart, she's only in 5th grade. She's like, what do you think about me getting a phone for my birthday? I was like, you're in 5th grade.
What do you need
she
a phone
goes,
for?
well, what about next year for middle school? I said, what about it? She goes, what if there's an emergency? I said, I'm across the street. Like, it'll be fine. That's how her mind goes to. She's wanting to. But the truth is, the world has gone on a long time without immediate response. And we're so used to it now. And so I think, to turn this all back into and come back around to the NIL, we have a younger generation who's getting younger and younger, because we're getting old as crap. Just FYI, I didn't know if you were aware of that or not.
Oh, I'm acutely aware.
Apparently I'm sleeping on the wrong pillow for the past 3 days or something. My back's killing, and it loosens up just in time to right back up, right? And I'm like, I am 45 now. That's where this happens. But
I love that.
But my point though is, these kids are getting younger and younger. There's a gratification that they're looking for. There's an expectation. There's a whatever. I don't hate on Nico for trying to earn a payday. I actually feel bad that his advice wasn't the best advice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Because if you take a step back and look at the big picture, if he develops into that pro day type quarterback, and you're working under a staff who took Hendon Hooker and just the other guy's name just left me, and put them both in the NFL, right? And it's like, you may not be top tier, you're not the next Tom Brady, but you're playing in the league, and you're working under that staff. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, wait a minute, let's see the big picture here. Did he sacrifice a lot more money to make more money today, assuming it was about the money? Now, if it's about the offense, it's like, who knows? But
you'll never get me to believe it was about the offense.
Nobody will believe that. Because that spins a week too late now. Like that should have come out Thursday.
Yeah.
He had issues with the OC or something long ago, but didn't the offensive coordinator already leave? Like, you can't blame the offense if there's already been turnover.
Yeah, but they got a new one,
right? Yeah. So, I don't know. The NIL it remains.
Didn't we throw more than any other team in the SEC?
I don't know that, but I do know that we ran more plays, or like first or second, and the number of plays we run, because we do run a fast-paced offense. So
and 3/4 of them were passes,
right,
or quarterback runs,
or he was involved, right?
Yeah,
he wasn't just turn around and hand the ball.
He's involved in every play,
right? And so but the NIL as a whole is going to at some point have to have some sort of structure, because a lot of people are using the term holdout. Well, the reason I don't like the term holdout is because if you hold out in the NFL, you still have an other side of your contract that you're obligated to do, like coaches, the management, whatever. Right now, the player has the full entitlement of the advantage, right? Except for a coach, if another school comes calling, he can leave and bail for whatever reason, family, money, opportunity, whatever. Well, that kid's still tied to that school who was recruited by that coach to go do that thing, and he can't leave until XYZ. And if there's an NIL reason for him to leave, if he can go get paid somewhere else, great. But what about your other 35 guys on your roster who are at that school and they don't have that option? You see what I'm saying? The problem is NIL got implemented without enough
regulation.
I don't want it to be regulated, but enough structure. Yeah, enough structure, outlines to say, here's where we got to operate, guys.
And I think that's what it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be some heavy regulated thing where you have a whole board and people overlooking every step you take.
Because did you see Baylor's basketball team from this year? Somebody put it up on the screen, and every kid, when they transferred the portal or left, they put a red X to them. There's nobody left on that team, because they'll have a basketball team, but that means they're going to start over completely new, either with new recruits or people.
The whole team went into the transfer portal.
Entire team, or graduated. Everybody went into the portal or graduated. And like, that is just like that. That's mind boggling, because you knew it comes to this point, right? That's the thing we're facing. It gets to this boiling point for all of these times. And so
look, and I think until there's guidelines.
Yeah. Right.
Until there's a box that we have to play in. I think this is where we're going to live. But, and it's going to be up to the coaches to create and maintain and develop a culture that money won't change.
You remember when you were in high school and you would hear stories about, so-and-so superstar gets in trouble, did something where he should have gotten in trouble, but he doesn't face a big consequence.
Oh, yeah.
So many coaches have been this win at all cost. My superstar screwed up. I'm going to let my superstar stay in because I still need to win, and we still have an outcome to get right.
Yeah.
So here's your slap on the wrist. And I think some of that plays into the NIL. Hey, we promised this kid $2 million. Now he's asking for $2.5 million. I've already recruited him enough, and I've got this offense around him that I think we can do. Can we get him $3 million? Whatever it is. And so you have these boards of trustees and whoever raising money for universities. They're writing checks like crazy. Oh yeah, and it's big business. Like it is big business.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I think Heupel, when he comes in and says, "No one's bigger than the program, including me," he took the football and the program of University of Tennessee football and said, "Here's our standard. Now we have to live to it." And I think that helps. You get a few more coaches to do that, I think it helps settle this a little bit.
I think he solidified UT.
Sure.
Right? Like, there's not going to be at least for the next year or two.
Or devil's advocate, he just scared away the top 10 recruits they had because they're not worried about getting paid.
This is what I was going to say.
Okay.
He solidified the culture at UT.
Sure.
Saying, we don't give two about money. Mm-hmm. We care about UT mm-hmm. and Big Orange football. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he scared recruits away, hands down, no questions asked, because the guys that, you know, the Travis Hunters of the world, the Shador Sanders, that, you know, whatever, the Nico Imaleaving that want more money.
Sure.
They're going to come to UT and go, okay, hey, what do you pay me? And UT will say, okay, well, we'll give you $2 million a year. And then Georgia will say, oh, well, we'll give you $4 million a year. They're going to go to Georgia because they know that $2 million a year is what they're going to get at UT.
Right.
They ain't going to get no more.
Right.
Where Georgia is going to give them more money, and then they can go play for a year and then say, hey, I need more money. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think until you get D1 football, all of those coaches go, here's your contract. There is no renegotiation of it. You're going to play your 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, under this contract, and that's it.
Yeah.
Should be it. I don't think, and this is kind of harsh, but I don't think Nico should be able to play next year.
Well, that used to be a thing. If you transferred,
or
you had to sit
I don't
out
care. I don't care if he plays, but I don't think he should get paid. I think if you have a contract and you leave it, there has to be a consequence.
My problem though is what is truly the contract, because it is just an NIL collective. It's a bargaining agreement, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my other part of that is you can't fabricate loyalty to a program. And what I mean by that is I can't pay you enough money to say, hey, you like being here. You just still like that I'm still giving you money, right?
Yeah.
Versus the kid who grew up, you know, has been going to games since he was 6. You know, he was on the local Pee Wee football team. They got to be the Dolphins, but the best part for him was that their jersey was orange. You know, so he felt like he was playing for UT. He sees a UT coach on campus when he's in high school. Like, this guy has looked forward to that his whole life, right? Mm-hmm. There's no dollar sign beyond, I want to go play for my hometown college.
That's my son.
Right.
My middle son.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
He's not thinking about the money at all.
And so when you've got that as you can't purchase or create or fabricate that loyalty. And so I'm going to let that kid go walk. If you're going to go somewhere else, I'm not going to penalize you, because I think you should have, been smarter on the front end to choose a program that's better for you. Let your heart make part of that decision. That's not, I think we're so scared of, all we see is dollar signs. Well, my heart may be steering me in the right spot.
Yeah.
And you know, what if coming out of high school, Nico was thinking UCLA because he was thinking, I can do football in the fall. I can do volleyball in the spring, because that's what he was an awesome volleyball player too.
Right.
And so, like, what if he had it, but he put all that away just because UT wrote the business check? I don't know if they did or not, but you see what I'm saying? You can't fabricate that loyalty. But you give me that local hometown kid.
But I do think there needs to be something, and I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah,
but there needs to be.
We'd all be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or there'd be a lot of talking heads out of a job because, like, old Charlie Evan came up with a good idea.
No, he got a good one. Yeah, so, I mean, look, I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that something's got to change. We can't continue to pay 18, 19-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids, millions of dollars to go play in college and then decide to go, oh, well. Because, I mean, we're not only not teaching them what real world things are.
Right.
It's not a real world. You get out of high school and go make millions of dollars.
No.
In any aspect, whether you don't play a sport and you're an extremely talented carpenter,
right? You're
not going to go straight out and start building homes and make, $2.4 million in your first 2 years.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. We'll figure it out one day.
I think the more instances like this happen, it helps balance it. And it's going to
Agreed.
begin to occur. And one coach stood up strong, now another one will, that kind of stuff. So,
well, they'll realize and look, what not a shot at Nico at all, but I really hope Tennessee comes out strong this year and makes it to the playoffs again and does well, just like they've been doing the last couple of years.
if they do that, they'll win back some of those recruits, no matter what the dollar sign is.
And then you start. That's when I think NIL changes, because then you have a coach that said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna bend. This is what we are. We are UT.
Yeah.
Come play for us, and this is what'll happen.
Right.
And when that happens, then like you said, then it stops being about money and more about football.
And what builds
or
that standard.
whatever.
Yep.
Very much so.
For sure.
So, you got a good mac and beans for
Man,
us?
I think I got a decent one.
Yeah.
The weather is starting to turn. We still have a couple of those days where it gets a little crisp at night, but like it's starting to feel right. And it hit me on the way over here. The air conditioner in my truck works great, but I needed to feel the wind blow through the locks on the face. Right?
Okay.
The music was up just right. So my mac or beans for you is windows rolled down or air conditioning, assuming we're in the vehicle here.
I think I'm gonna have to give you the windows down and music up.
Yeah, it creates a vibe.
It definitely creates a vibe. I will caveat that with I haven't always been that way.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that
haven't
was not
always
my
been that way.
caveat.
Yeah.
You go ahead. So you're used to this. This is new for you.
Yeah, I used to. So my allergies have always been really, really bad.
Oh,
So rolling around town with all the windows down
in Tennessee,
in Tennessee, especially in April and May,
right.
was not a good look for me.
Sure.
I'd get out of the car and be purple. I had so
gosh.
much pollen in me. But they're not quite as bad as they used to be. And it's worse in May than it is now. But it's good windows down. With music
Windows
playing is
down, and it doesn't have to be the right song, but if it's fitting the vibe that you got for the day, man, it is strong. But I will say, here's my caveat, and this is where when you said caveat, I just knew this is what you were going to say. My caveat, though, is I'm getting old, and I want to hear the phone call, or I don't want to hear the sound of the wind in the car. I just want to be comfortable. And I'm like, so I say that, you know how when you've ridden around, like your wife, your daughter, you don't have daughters, I got daughters, but you and I've been conditioned in life. If there's a female next to me, hey, can I roll the windows down? And their response is either, no, my hair is fixed, or sure, I've got a tie to pull my hair back. I'm like, God, so there was this, and it's a perfect example. Last week, it was one of those days where it felt great.
You can call me an a-hole. I don't think I've ever looked over to my right and asked my wife, is it okay if I roll the windows down?
She's got shorter hair, though, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Because I'm just guessing with shorter hair, it's real easy to fix. She tosses it, she's ready to go. It's perfect, right?
Well, she's perfect anyway.
Well, of course. But you get somebody with longer hair, and it's whipping all around. It does its thing. It just, you have to make sure it's okay. You got to get permission to roll the windows down. So the perfect, though, medium for me and my wife, the sunroof.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you know what? You can hear the sound, you feel the sun on you, whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't disturb her hair. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm a big sunroof guy. I love a sunroof. And so when our new car got that, or new to us, I should say, when it had that, I was like, oh, I have hit a luxury in life I didn't know I needed.
My dad's a sunroof. He's a sunroof convertible fellow.
I've never owned a convertible. I could imagine I'd be that guy though.
Pappy, I love Pappy. Pappy's special sometimes. We love some Pappy.
We're still talking about your dad, right?
Yeah. We're talking about it. Yeah. So I've been trying to get him to come on the show.
Oh yeah.
I've really been pressing him, but the camera's scary.
What's his hang up?
He don't want to talk on camera. He's fine. He would do fine.
He knows that like you can't see the people on the other side, right?
I think so.
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep pressing him.
Sure, please do.
I'd love it. It would be an exceptional show.
When that time comes, it's going to happen. I'm just going to sit over here and I'm just going to laugh. It's just be a laugh track of me. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you two
you'll
go
have
back
to
and
talk.
forth.
Yeah, it'll be a good show. But he buys a car about every 6 months. Literally every 6 months.
He knows what he likes.
And this is probably the first year that by the time we get to April, he hasn't had a convertible.
That's funny.
So
is he buying a summertime car and a wintertime car? Is that what he's doing?
Pretty
here?
much.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much. In the winter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's goals, man.
Yeah. Pretty much. He will. So he loves E350 Mercedes convertibles. Like he thinks that's the best car that's ever been built.
I mean, it's not a bad car.
No, it's a super nice car.
Yeah.
Super nice car. And he gets the 2-door convertible and loves it. But he will drive that through the summer.
Sure.
And then it gets to be the end of August and there starts to become an itch. He's like, because you get into September and then you get that one cool night and it's like,
right.
Oh, it's about to snow.
Snuck up on it. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, got to sell my car. So he'll sell it. And then he'll go buy an SUV or a truck or something.
Get him through the winter with all-wheel drive.
Yep.
For all 4 of our snow days.
Right. That he doesn't leave the house for. Okay. He won't leave the house.
I love it.
I laughed at him the other day. He said something about buying a car. He saw another, it was an Audi, and or it was earlier today, actually. And he was like, buddy, it's got a lot of miles on it. And I went, how many miles it got on it? And it's a 2019. Okay. 2019. This is 2025. So it's 6 years old. Mm-hmm. All right. And it's got 48 or 49,000 miles on it.
So it's doing all right.
Like it's brand new.
Right.
Okay. This car ain't been driven.
It's got a lot of miles on it.
Yeah. And I said, what are you worried about anyways? You don't drive but like 500 miles a year. And he don't. He'll literally put like 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles a year on a car. He don't go nowhere.
That's hysterical.
Like he was working at the golf course during the summer times. Well, he stopped doing that because he hurt his back. He don't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
I mean, look, he's 78 years old. He ain't got to work. Do what
right.
you do, man. Enjoy life.
Isn't that funny? You say 78. Mm-hmm. It clicked in my mind. This is serious about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And somebody asked how old my mother was. I was like, oh, she's just, I don't remember I could do the math. She'll be 73 this year. And I was like, 70. I don't know why it hit me because my mom hasn't slowed down a stitch.
It hit me this year too.
It's been just wild because she floated the idea a year or two ago, I may retire. I was like, girl, you should. And then she's like, I got another year in me. Well, this is like 2 or 3 years now. I got another year in me. And my thought was, step away, Mom. Like, enjoy.
How long has she been teaching now?
I don't know. How long's old's dirt? I don't know.
She was teaching when we were kids.
Oh, she been teaching. Yeah. I mean, she's taught enough that she taught for a number of years. When I was a young child, she stepped away, worked at the university in one of their departments, not education, like operations, and then went back to teaching. Her second career of teaching is she can retire from it on the Tennessee retirement plan the second time. I'm like, how are you doing this? She's put in her time, right?
Retired twice.
Right, basically. And so, but my thought is, and a friend of mine points out to me, if that keeps her mind sharp and is keeping her engaged, and I don't know what my mom would do in retirement. I know what she wouldn't do is just stop. Like, she's just not that person. But, she, it keeps her going. She enjoys what she does. she plays the piano out at church. Somehow she became the bookkeeper at church. I was like, why? Y'all couldn't find nobody else younger? She goes, I am the younger one. I do joke around that every time we visit her church that the average age falls in half. Like it just we walked in, but and that's not
Look
true.
at all the youth,
right? Yeah, but she became the bookkeeper, so you can go over there on Sunday afternoon to her house. She's either taking care of the church stuff or she's grading papers. So that's just what she does, and she's never missed one of her grandkids' events. Doesn't matter how minimal it is or how strong it is. We do Tuesday night dinner every Tuesday. And let me just say, I'm not saying that you need to start that now, or Trent, that you do, or any of our listeners, whatever. If you can develop a pattern of seeing family regularly and just setting all the stuff aside, and it's a hassle. I'm sure there are plenty of nights when my mom does not want to host us on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The number of Tuesday nights we've missed in the last 8 or 10 years, I bet single digits.
That's amazing.
And it is amazing because now it's become a priority for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And if we do miss, even the grandkids we miss grandma tonight. What are we doing? Now the running thing is somebody made a request for a dessert a few months ago and she made it. And why are we having this? It was awkward, dessert for that time, whatever it was. Well, so-and-so requested it. We can make dessert requests nobody knew. So that's
no one told me.
So now the trend is who's asking first, right? Because you want whatever you had. But anyway, it's I don't even know where that. Oh, but going back to, our parents being older, which in turn means we're older. It's just a weird thought when I just casually said 73.
It hit me. It hit me yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, yeah. Or day before yesterday, actually. Mm-hmm. I got a message on Facebook. And an email from the same person. And I didn't know who it was. But they had the same last name as a buddy of mine that I was in the Army with. Well, Kurt lives in Minnesota.
So it's not Kurt.
Ain't Kurt. And he would have called me.
Right.
But his parents went to Florida, and he told his parents that on their way back through, they were coming to Nashville. They wanted to hang out here for a couple of days. But they wanted to, that he needed him and his mom and dad to stop by my restaurant and come hang out.
That's fantastic.
To meet me.
Yeah.
Because we've talked so much about each other.
Sure.
And, we've been friends for 25 years. It's a long time.
It's weird to say you've known somebody that long.
Long time.
Yep, for sure.
And, but it hit me, I talk about the Army all the time, especially at the restaurant.
Right.
Because we have our hero wall, and we're very patriotic, and we have all kinds of military stuff. And a gentleman came in today and actually gave me a challenge going. It was really cool. But I'm sitting there talking to Wyman's parents, and it's literally been 25 years since I met him. That's nuts.
And right. Do you know who your oldest friend that you still have contact is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do too. It goes all the way back to third grade. And that just astonishes me that I can, because what are you in third grade? 8 or 9 years old? So that means I've known somebody for, 37, 38 years.
Yeah, probably.
Now
that I'm thinking about it out loud, you might beat him.
I might beat him?
Yeah, you might be the oldest friend I got.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
you might be.
Yeah, as far, and like I said,
because I met you, when I met you, 6th grade?
I thought it was 7th grade. It's a Central, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 6th grade, wasn't it?
Nope. They didn't have 6th grade then. 7th and 8th. Back in the old days when it was just a middle school.
Where'd you go to 6th grade?
Bradley.
I don't know where I went to 6th grade.
Did you live on Eventide at the time?
Yeah.
All right. Was it
Is that
Reeves
Northfield?
Rogers? Northfield. Yeah, you were at Northfield. That's exactly where you were. So
I have zero memory of
the
that.
old Northfield Knights.
I literally have zero memory of that.
Well,
That's bad.
that is bad. That was the uppity school back then.
Like I remember Central
Yeah,
vividly,
just fine.
but I thought it was 6th, 7th, and 8th.
You ever think about some of the names of the people that we could roll through and just like, wow, I wonder what they're doing today?
I got one for you. Ike Reed.
I don't even remember who that is.
Point.
Okay. Done.
Let's see who.
I was going to go with the period of time that Anthony Skokes met as a police officer.
Wow.
That makes me giggle every time. Hey, I saw he rolled up in uniform at an event one night, and I looked at him, and all he did was smile because he knew what I was thinking. I was like, really? This is what we're doing with this? He's like, I got tired of working construction, and I figured I'd try something else out. So he went from construction to that, and then, of course, he's been in construction now again, his second time around for a good while, and he's doing well for himself. But it's comical.
He was. His son was on one of my kids' baseball teams.
Perfect.
They're same age. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anthony Scott. I hadn't heard that name in a couple of years.
It's been a while.
Good one. Yeah.
I figured I could throw one out there.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, and I completely forgot that he was a cop.
Sure was.
It wasn't very long.
It wasn't. Maybe 2 years tops.
Yeah.
But, man, I laughed when I saw it. So
That's outstanding.
yeah, it is. That's good.
Oh man, you
I do.
you got a good Friday feel good for
I
us?
think it's a good one. I've been on a good stretch here lately.
You have been.
Just
You have been.
FYI. Most of my Friday feel goods are fairly original. I try not to quote stuff or steal stuff too often.
Yep.
This one I straight stole, but it hit me Sunday afternoon like a ton of bricks.
Steal it.
All we get is time and choices. Be careful how you make both of them. How we spend our time, how you make a choice, because that's literally all it comes down to.
Damn.
I've tried to be more genuine and specific about my time here lately. Setting aside time for smaller things, just to devote a little bit to it. Be careful how you spend your time and your choice, because that's all you get. I mean, that's life boiled down to it.
And you control how you spend your time.
Both of them. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know, tell them you love them.
I love that. Yeah, good one.
It is
Good one. Good one. Look, guys, you know what to do. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me directly. You can email me at Charlie, CHARLIE, at singletreebbq.com, or you can give me a call at 615-307-0120, and we can get you booked on the show. But until then, we'll see you next time, guys.
Y'all be good.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.